Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about a very famous book, Percy Jackson and the Olympians by Rick Riordan. In this 5-book series, Rick Riordan connects the modern world to the ancient world of Greek mythology. In the story, Percy Jackson, the protagonist of the story, finds out that he's a demigod. Although his mother is a normal human, his father is the god of the seas, the ancient Greek god of the seas, Poseidon. Next, he finds out that Greek monsters are real and they're after him, and the only safe place for people like him is Camp Half-Blood. Grover, a satyr, who is Percy's friend, introduces him to Camp Half-Blood. Over there, he befriends two people, Luke, a son of Hermes, and Annabeth, a daughter of Athena. Together, Annabeth and Percy travel across the country to find Zeus' lightning bolt and solve a feud between the two main gods, Zeus and Poseidon. They are joined on this quest by Grover, the satyr. The first monster they meet is Medusa, a very evil person whose hair can turn anyone to stone. Then they're tricked by Ares, the god of war. They also have a close call with Hades in the underworld, and they barely escape with their lives. Even then, they have to leave Percy's mom, who has been captured by Hades somehow, in the grasp of Hades. In the end, Percy battles Ares, who has actually stolen Zeus' lightning bolt, and he manages to recover the lightning bolt. He also manages to find the Helmet of Darkness, which is the main weapon of Hades, the god of the underworld. Now Hades is happy with Percy, so he returns his mom. Finally, in the last chapter, Percy is betrayed by his friend Luke, who almost killed him by launching a scorpion beetle on him. Then Luke turns evil and decides to go against the god and wake up an evil titan called Kronos. In the starting of book 2, Rick Riordan really starts with an interesting beginning by making Percy find out that he has a Cyclops for a brother. He also finds out that his friend, Grover, is missing, and the magical tree which protects Camp Half-Blood has been poisoned. The tree had actually been Thalia, who had been a very brave demigod, a daughter of Zeus, who had sacrificed herself bravely to save some of her demigod friends. And now Zeus had turned her into a tree which protected Camp Half-Blood from more monsters. Although Luke had poisoned the tree, Percy's favorite camp director, Chiron, has been accused of this and banished. He has been replaced by Tantalus, a very evil dead spirit. He finds out that only the mythical healing property of the legendary golden fleece will be able to heal the tree, and also it's in the same place as his friend, Grover. Annabeth, Percy, and the Cyclops half-brother Tyson embark on a journey to save Grover and recover the golden fleece. During this, they have to face Circe, an evil witch, the deadly sirens who eat you, evil Cyclops called Polyphemus, and they also have to compete against one of their very competitive fellow demigod called Clarice. But in the end, Grover and Chiron return and the tree is healed. In the third book, Percy's best friend, Annabeth, has gone missing, and instead of him, a team of Artemis's hunters are assigned to get her, because she's actually trapped in the same place as Artemis, who's also been kidnapped by the same evil guy. But Percy is really worried about Annabeth, so instead of following the camp director Chiron's wishes to make him stay in there, in Camp Half-Blood, he goes and decides to rescue Annabeth on his own. So he works a Pegasus called Blackjack, and he decides to go and rescue her. He finds out that she's been kidnapped by the Titan Atlas. He has been collaborating with Luke, the guy who went evil, to release Kronos and turn to the evil side and destroy the gods. On the way, Percy meets up with the hunters of Artemis, and they decide to go together to rescue Annabeth and Artemis. Although in the fight that ensues, Percy has to hold the burden of the sky himself, he finally manages to trick Atlas into holding the burden of the sky again. But just then, disaster strikes and Luke comes with an army of monsters to destroy them. But then Annabeth's dad, who is a scientist, comes to their rescue and decides to kill the monsters with some machine guns. He'd actually taken one of Annabeth's spare weapons and melted the metal to find out about Celestic Rose, the only magical metal that can defeat monsters. And now he used that metal to make into bullets, so he actually managed to kill the monsters. So in the fourth book, Percy, Annabeth, Tyson and Grover must enter the labyrinth to convince the Daedalus to not give Luke the Adrian string. The Adrian string is a very helpful tool which could help him navigate his army of monsters through the labyrinth and get them right into the middle of Camp Half-Blood without even notifying anyone. So these four friends have to navigate the labyrinth, which is very hard, and they face lots of monsters like at every turn, and lots of other traps are there in the labyrinth. But when they reach Daedalus, they find out that they're too late, and Adrian's string is also already in the possession of Luke. They also find out that Kronos has already possessed Luke and he's leading an army to Camp Half-Blood. But then Daedalus has a change of heart. He decides to help Camp Half-Blood, and with his help, they manage to defeat the army, but the war is not over yet. So in the summary of Book 5, the final war with the Titans is here. They don't only have to defeat the Kronos' Luke's army, they also have to defeat an army of minor gods who have turned to the evil side because they don't feel they're getting enough importance being on the good side. The monster forces have invaded Manhattan and they're on the way to Empire State Building, where they find Olympus, the home of the gods. Percy finds out that his only hope to defeat Luke/Kronos is to dip himself into the Styx and make himself invulnerable. But even with Percy's invulnerability, the demigod forces are really stretched thin. Kronos almost wins, but then Chiron, the camp director, brings more reinforcement of centaurs, and with that they manage to turn over the odds, but not for long. In the end, Kronos almost takes over Olympus as he gets into Olympus, but right in the end, just before Kronos is about to overtake Olympus, Luke manages to possess his body once for one moment, and he turns good and he finds out that the evil is actually really wrong, and he decides to kill himself by stabbing himself with a knife. So in this whole series, we've seen many Greek characters like Medusa and Sirens and Polyphemus and Kronos and the Greek gods, of course, and lots of other stuff. So this is a really fun way to learn about Greek mythology while having fun. So if you really like fiction but want to learn about Greek mythology for history or something, this is a very good series that I recommend to you. Rick Riordan has also written many other series about other mythologies, for example, the Kane Chronicles about Egyptian mythology, and the Magnus Chase series, which is about the Norse mythology. I will be reviewing these books also in the coming videos. So don't forget to subscribe for my new videos if you haven't done that already. Thank you.